All right, it's a quick garden update. This is what's happening at the end of April, about a week before the beginning of May, in my yard. So the azaleas are still blooming. This is not an encore azalea, this is a regular azalea. But I always like to put things next to them that bring out the color. And it's much more purple than it looks in this video. Well, pinky purple. It looks kind of pink, but it's a little brighter. I've set up my little urns because this path leads between me and my best friend Noelle's house, and we live right next door to each other. And she's planted orchard trees and fig trees and things like that. So we like to frame each other's properties with things that we do. And then as you're standing at this path from her house, and you look straight across over here, and this kind of partially shaded area behind this dogwood tree, there's a bird bath, so the birds can have something to drink. And then that path, I just cut paths all around the house, so you can come around through here. There's an old birdhouse, and then you come back to the side yard, which goes around the side of the house, and to the roses that I planted on the front of the house. I also planted the window boxes, and this year I planted them with just plain white. Usually I do different colors. Well, I mean, I've had it for a year, but I like different colors. But now the roses are getting as big as I want them to be. They're forming a hedge, so I just want a color to contrast them. But if you look, all the roses around the property are beginning to come into their peak, and then they'll stay laden with flowers all throughout the year, but not quite as many as this time of year. They thin out a little bit. And then this is my carport, which I like to just hang out in when I'm doing yard work because it's shady and I burn up in the sun. It's got lights and things. But I can entertain well over 30 people out here if I want to. Anyway, and then I have the sheds, which I keep lots of crap in. It's kind of organized now. So I took a rose out here. I'm planting elephant ears. I'm hoping they'll do really well because elephant ears get really large in Georgia. And as you can see, the roses and things are starting to bloom. And that's the main excitement this time of year. And then next, sort of in late June, the hydrangeas will all start blooming. And these Rose of Sharons, which act like weeds, but I love them. They're beautiful. And then these are carpet roses. I have them in pinks and orange. They will also bloom. And the irises haven't bloomed yet in the middle of the bed there. But basically, this is what's going on. Roses. This is the time of the roses for my yard, where they stand out more than anything else. And then other plants come in and flower, like my crepe myrtles, etc., etc. And then this is where I'm going to have a vegetable garden this year. I'm trying my luck at it. I've got it in the sunniest part of the yard where it gets the most sun all day long. But where there's also other stuff to look at. And these are like blackberries right here. The little white flowers, they grow all over the yard. So the birds have plenty to eat. I have plenty to eat. Now this right here, this little rose, came from seed from this rose, which is weird because it's very unusual for, a rose to just seed itself. But that's what I was thinking about, everything trying to grow in my yard. And then there are paths, like I said, that go all the way around through here. So I have this little bird bath that broke, and then I put it on a pedestal of something else that broke. And in this, I planted last year impatiens, but this year I planted caladiums. So we'll see how that looks in a couple weeks. But that's basically it. Paths everywhere, planting new stuff. The roses are in peak, but the lilies and that sort of stuff are, not going to be out for another month, maybe two. So I have a flourish in July, I have a flourish in the early spring, and I have a flourish autumn. There's a lot to look at. And that's basically what's going on right now.